body, truth told, it was burning to the ground. I got out while I still could. It came down to a burden of proof and a verdict. They called us out, line us up, and it's like everybody's waiting for their chance just to pull the strings. So I will go out silent, not say anything. And so it may seem it's not what you wanted, baby. I don't blame you, it's not misunderstanding how they're leading you on. We keep calm and press on, make enemies with our last hope at lost cause. If they have the same wish, it's epidemically connected to the mental need to be the best. Pat the back and the kids, feed them shit. It's getting harder and harder to keep my head down. Out of commission on visions, been the best now. Finding I'm so overwhelmingly unimpressed by local legends of events, convincing me they're the next sign. Oh, step above a letdown. The system shop with the ignition is sound, and it's burning out. Burning out. Get one shot if you feel it's your own gun now. My dreams die when I say they do. Whether I'm speaking or sleeping, I can convince you that success is written by my own convictions, and unless you can live up with the rhythm you throw. And so it may seem it's not what you wanted, baby. I don't blame you, it's not misunderstanding how they're leading you on. Perception is key. Your crown is the product you're making. We spent our whole life regretting our time now wasted playing along.
My life, I want it to mean something. If you are not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. Wasting your time. Wasting your time. Wasting your time.
This is not a solution, but it's a step in the right direction. I've got haters on both sides, fighting over a close tie. Ghost ride on a track with no traction.
This is not a delusion, you think I'm proving, you're proving your theory goes all the sand to provide. It's a new weapon and you got it, you already it's got it. Take your shot, but you got the wrong target. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's how it may seem. It's not what you wanted, baby. I don't blame you. It's not misunderstanding how they're leading you on. Perception is key. Your crown is the product you're making. We spent our whole life regretting our time now wasted playing alone. So it may seem. So it may seem. Perception is key. Your crown is the product you're making. We spent our whole life regretting our time now wasted playing along.
Blackjack David came a riding by, sang so sweet and gaily.
All right, shut up. What's up? What's up, fam? We're all back. We're all back up in this. I am alive. I am well-ish. You might notice that my voice sounds a little different. It's partially because it's kind of recovering. It's recovered enough that I said, damn it, we're going to do this today, whether I should or not. That and also my lovely wife Kayla got me this brand new sexy microphone. So hopefully things sound good. If they don't, let me know in the chats. Drop me a comment if you can't hear me or if anything sounds out of funk, because I can switch it over real gosh darn easy. But we're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to be talking about things like Biden surrendering to COVID, keeping up with the Alex Joneses, Biden slamming Biden. He gave him the real slap down, gave him the good old corn pop kick. And people are snapping. If you haven't noticed, people are snapping all around. But we're going to get into that and oh so much more here in just a moment. Before we do, let's give people just a couple more minutes to get up in here and let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do.
tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
But ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that. I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves or possesses weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth. I remember that with that smoke. We are still here.
We have to say yes to socialism.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's a big club and you ain't in it. Welcome back to what some have called the Libertarian The View because of the time. Mostly I call it that as a joke because rather than 4 women, I am 1 man. But as we all know, that is almost equivalent. Just kidding. No, we have some people here in the chats. Welcome, welcome. As you guys are coming in, let me know that you're here so I know who all is up here. But, yeah, we're going to trudge on forward. I've had a down-and-out week. I went and saw the witch doctor last week. I don't know what I had, but it had all the symptoms of Omicron. But Omicron, of course, has all the symptoms of a cold. So who the hell knows and who cares? Real bad cold. That's what I'm getting over. Kill the music. We're going to do this thing. Before we get into it, before we get back to what we do in wrapping up the year, another wonderful, beautiful year, this year of our Lord, the year 2021, roasting the news as we always do. Before we get into that, I got to remind you guys of our sponsors, first and foremost being Y'all and the Downers Club. People like Gremlin666, that's right, we've got some demons up in here now. We got Cole, we've got Dickie Walnuts, we've got Level Zero, Vanzant Media, Stephen Hartman, Jack Casey, Javari, Kyle Evans, and so on and so forth. Derek Evans, John Odermad, Tim Brown, Aaron Suit. If you want to get your name on that list and possibly have me read it one of these times as I'm reading, go on over to patreon.com/the system is down. That's the name of this show, the show you're watching. Go on over there and you can get the after parties, which we will be doing one today. As my voice allows, I have a full episode prepared over there for you. And yeah. So if you would like to get the extended shows, if you'd like to get the Boba Fett recaps that I'm going to be doing here with Mark Clare of Lions with Liberty and that nerd show that he has, Second Print Comics, we're going to be doing that here soon as well. So if you want all that stuff, if you want to support the show, because I'm not allowed to do those super chats, haven't been able to monetize for a good long time, support this show. Over at patreon.com/the system is down and join the family. I know a lot of you are here today. Welcome. We are also sponsored by Free Ounce of Kratom at freeounceofkratom.com. Go get your Kratom. Go try it for free. Enter the promo code TSID for 5% off your entire order. Why would you need 5% off your entire order? Well, it's not all free. Not everything's free. They also have Delta 8 THC. You can get more than an ounce of Kratom. You can get all sorts of things. You can get CBD. You can get colloidal silver, I think. You can get vitamins and minerals and all sorts of stuff. And you can get 5% off your entire order at freeounceofkratom.com with the promo code TSID. Again, that's freeounceofkratom.com, promo code TSID. And we're also sponsored by the amazing and wonderful and beautiful man of many locks, Jack Casey at jackcaseybooks.com. You can get all of his books, The Royal Green, In Silver Throned, Crowned by Gold, and his latest WVW, which I just finished last week. It is, or the week before, I don't know. Time has no meaning. But this book here, it's a little dark. You can't see it. He said he was going to lighten it up and send me a new one once he gets it lightened up. I still haven't received that, so you get to kind of see it there. The WVW, I highly recommend it. It will trigger you probably, no matter who you are, from what spectrum, but it's got a lot of very great and powerful meaning and messaging. Not all that subtle meaning and messaging either, but it's not heavy-handed and preachy. I thought it was great, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to give any more away. You can go find out for yourself at jackcaseybooks.com. We are also sponsored by thesystemisdown.tv/store, which has all the great, damn it, I don't have the new one in here, But I have a new one. I've got the Christmas or Winter of Death one, which is relevant probably for a limited time only, but maybe the shirt will only be available for a limited time only. It's got Biden with the Reaper costume, Grim Reaper, sickle, and all that, and he's wearing a Santa hat, and just says Winter of Death in a nice death metal font with some happy snowflakes behind. So go check out that and all these wonderful shirts, like the Ryle Kittenhouse Defense Attack Cat shirt. The revolution will not be televised. It will be podcasted. And I find your hysteria hysterical, and I'm tired of pretending that it's not. All those and so many more over at thesystemisdown.tv/store. There's that. Nope, didn't mean to re-click it. So what's up, guys? We're jumping in. We're jumping into the news. If you're not familiar, this is the place where we talk about the uncomfortable topics, things like conspiracies, politics, religion, culture, current events, looking outside and watching the world come to an end, watching the apocalypse. We just like to sit back, have a good laugh at it, because laughter is truly the best medicine. It is even better than certain injections that some might get. It is the best medicine for all things, and especially the best medicine for the end of the world. And as you guys know, I always like to start out with some good news. I like to set the tone, set the pace, so we can kind of pull the rug out from under you once we get into the nice, real, dark, and raw, and gritty, fun stuff. So the good news for the day, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this comedian. His name is Frank Caliendo. He does like all the impressions, whatever. He does like John Madden and Charles Barkley and others. Guy who was really popular for a couple years there when he was doing things, but there was a rumor going around that Frank Caliendo had passed, and the good news is that Frank Caliendo did not pass. Frank Caliendo is, in fact, very much alive. The bad news is that John Madden himself is actually dead, so there's that. I did see it going around Twitter. People were like, Frank Caliendo died? And I was like, did he? He didn't, no, but John Madden did, and John Madden's career has been reduced to a video game and a comedian making fun of him. But John Madden was, I'm not a sports ball guy. I'm not going to pretend like I knew anything about the guy outside of the video games. I did play the video games, and his voice will still ring in the back of my head with some of those phrases that I can't think of right now. But yeah, he was a big part of my childhood, whether I realized it or not. And I think it is pretty cool that a guy like that, he was a sports legend, then he was a commentator legend, and then after he quit doing commentationary-ishness, he did the video game stuff, so kind of carried on to a new generation, which, I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. Guy stayed relevant up until the very end. I am curious if they will have, with like, with the way they can change and alter voices and fake voices and stuff, are they going to keep calling them like Madden 2022, Madden 23, Madden 24, and have somebody do an impersonation? Maybe they'll have Frank Caliendo do it. Maybe they'll call it Caliendo 2024 and just switch it up. Shannon says, I love when Dan talks sports ball. Yes. It's I don't pretend to know. I just accept my lot in life, which is not the sports ball commentator, because I've got enough bread and circuses in my life, and that one is just a little too on the nose for me as far as distractions in the world. But more good news. I know, bonus. It's the end of the year. Thought we could use some happy Christmas joy and cheer and merriment. This comes from New Hampshire party. At LPNH, their Twitter. And I'm only sharing this because I just saw this before I hit go live. I just saw that this is trending, and I was like, well, I'll grab something to trend, or something to show for it being trending, like something for me to look at and talk about. And why not everybody's favorite libertarian account, LPNH. So they said, white pill, national divorce is a trending topic. Yes, it is trending currently as I am talking to you right now. Go out and keep it going, keep it trending, because this is what we need. This is the best hope for humanity right now is peaceful national divorce. And of course, everybody is going on and commenting like, the last time we tried a national divorce, it resulted in the Civil War. Yes, that was, over slavery, allegedly in certain ways. Slavery was a big part of that. civil war is up to y'all, right? Like, if we all just say, hey, peace out, and we just split up, I know there'll be some growing pains, and some people are going to have to move, and it's going to be weird for a bit, but hey, why not? Why not give it a shot? Because clearly we don't agree with anybody on anything, and half the people have lost their damn minds, as we're going to get into later. But LPNH says national divorce is a trending topic. Now, I'm not drinking the Kratom today because it dries out my throat and all that, but I'm drinking the coffee, and I am experiencing some not indigestion, some gas. I'm having some mouth gas, okay? So you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with the scratchy voice. You're going to have to deal with me stopping to take sips because, oh, hey, forgot to mention, Travis still isn't here. So that's cool. I think he caught the Omicron too. I could be wrong, but I don't want to like out him or anything. He's not too secretive. If you follow him on Facebook, he kind of is an open book. So anyway, LPNH says there is no reason why people who value individual liberty should have to be ruled by people who value collectivism and vice versa. Let's go our separate ways peacefully. # national divorce. Couldn't have said it better myself, but I'll probably come up with a way to do so later. Shannon says, I love balls. Thank you, Shannon. The cool mom. Jason Booth says some people like balls more than others. All right, guys. Cool. I'm glad we're all paying attention here in class. Yes, Shannon, R.I.P. Travis. But yeah, let's go national divorce. Keep it trending. As I'm talking right now, share it a bunch of times. Maybe just share a link to this and then put # national divorce in it. Share the link to this episode and put # national divorce in it. It won't necessarily change any minds, but maybe somebody will tune into the beginning of it, or maybe they'll go back and listen to something. You never know. I mostly just want the hashtag to keep going, and if I can get a little selfish pleasure out of it myself, I will certainly take it. Speaking of selfish pleasures and balls, I don't know. The View is currently struggling to find a Republican. Now, I don't really have much to say about this. It's basically just them bitching about they keep cycling through Republican ladies because that's what they try to do. They try to be this really diverse, eclectic group where they have 3 Democrats and 1 Republican. I'm pretty sure that's the amount. And the Republicans are like the worst hacks, like what's her name, Liz Cheney. Just awful people on both sides over there, but they're having a hard time finding a replacement. That's how bad the View has gotten. They can't even find a bad Republican that will sit in with them. But I would like to take this time to throw my hat into the ring to officially announce I am open to it, guys. It's going to be 2022. If you're looking for diversity, inclusion, open-mindedness, forward-thinking, progression, and all those things you love, you should be willing to accept a lowly black Republican woman as myself, because that's how I identify when it comes to this story. I will go and I will be a black conservative woman for the View, because I am allowed to identify that way. I'm pretty sure that's how the rules work. I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep up with. But if not me, then take Shannon. Dear God, take Shannon. Somebody take her. All right. What else do we got? Did you guys hear about Hong Kong? Yes. Always fun and joyous, raucous events happening over in Hong Kong. Hong Kong has their raiding journalists and locking them down, locking them up for having wrong opinions. Who could have possibly predicted this? Stand, which I don't know how their freedom. I don't know what level of freedom of press they have, but it doesn't. No matter what it says on paper, it doesn't really matter when things like this happen. It kind of shows just how much you have. Just like with Alex Jones, how much freedom of the press do you have? What does it matter what's written down on paper if they can raid your home and steal your shit? Or subpoena you or whatever on baseless bullshit. Stand News, one of the few remaining pro-democracy websites in Hong Kong, has ceased operation following the arrest of 7 people. With links to the outlet, they have been accused of a, quote, conspiracy to publish seditious publications. What are seditious publications, you ask? Well, things that incite secession, subversion of state power, and called for foreign governments to impose sanctions. Okay. So, very seditious, very terrible things that I could be... when China makes its way over here, these type of allegations could be used on me for the last, 3 minutes of conversation I've been having here. So, yes, it's best that we talk about this stuff. I'm not sure what else I can do about it. I certainly don't support the invasion of China to help these people, but damn, that is not good signs, not good things. Let's see what we got. While I cough, let's see what we got here. Jason Booth says, it's 2022. Dan can identify as a awful neocon, and saying he can't is bigotry. Exactly. That's where y'all's reasoning and rationale leads to. Stay on track, Dan. This won't be a 3-hour stream, says Shannon. Yes, it's not. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to ignore you. But yeah, guys, jump into the chats. It does help out with the algorithms and all that shit. I don't know how much I care because I can't monetize and they don't like this stuff getting out there anyway. But share it around, most importantly. But do all the liking, sharing, and subscribing things. I always forget to bring it up. I never really do talk about the liking, sharing, and subscribing because it doesn't mean all that much to me, especially on platforms that hate me. But also, go leave a review in the iTunes or whatever it's called, the Apple Podcast. Go do that, or wherever you're listening to this right now. Go leave it a review because I know it's almost impossible to get people to leave reviews. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you would like other people to review, I don't know where I'm going with this. I know most of you don't have podcasts. Rebel with a Cause, I'll review you. You go review me. How about that? I know that there are some podcasters in here, but help people like that are trying to get the truth out there. Help them out with the very simple things like leaving a positive review. If you have a negative review, I suppose you can leave that. I've got some in there. You can. It's your right to. But if you have a negative review or negative thoughts, you can always just email me at dan@tsidpod.com, and we can have a conversation about it rather than something that I can't even chat about on here. Maybe someday I'll just do an episode about all the negative reviews on this show. I have some, and it doesn't look great to new people walking by. So if you would please go squash them out with your voices and you do your best. Anyway, back to the news. The IRS had some fun statements because as tax season is coming out, they have all of their rules and regulations that you have to abide by. The ones that are coming out lately seem a little bit strange and very 2021 of them. The IRS says illegal activities. This is one of the things you have to claim on. Illegal activities. Income from illegal activities, such as money from dealing illegal drugs, must be included in your income on Schedule 1, Form 1040, Line 8, or on Schedule, who cares? If from your self-employment activity. They refer to it as self-employment activity, which is exactly what they should refer to it as. Excuse me. Yes, the IRS, if you sell drugs, the IRS is asking you, please just make sure you give us our shake. And even more shockingly than that, stolen property. If you steal property, you must report its FMV in your income in the year you steal it, unless in the same year you return it to its rightful owner. So if you're going to go out there and steal something, and I can see how this is all pertinent given the very lax theft laws going around this country lately. They're like, you know what? We want you guys to be able to steal shit because it's not affecting us. It's, don't come on knocking on our door or anything. But if you're stealing anything under, what is it, $995, it's considered a misdemeanor in California and shit like that. But if you're going to go out and do all that legal stealing of very large objects, like I don't have that many things really in this office except for like this microphone. I could steal this. I could steal my interface. I could steal that microphone. I could steal several of my cameras even, and it would only be a misdemeanor. So, I mean, as long as you're going in multiple rounds. But if you're going to go out and do those things, just make sure you give the government money for your... They're stealing money from you based on something that you stole from somebody else. Like, good Lord, the circle jerk is just... God, it's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. But I think it was Spike Cohen who said, you guys first. Like, to the government, stop stealing first. The taxation is theft, and they're taking money from you that you did not agree to for things that they just make up on the regular whenever they feel like it, and it goes up and down as they please. And now, if you do the thing that they do, they can still make money off of you for that. It's just so beautiful. If you're gonna commit illegal activities, I mean, we prefer you don't deal drugs. We kind of prefer that you don't steal, but if you're gonna, you better be paying us. That's the government, guys. That's what we're paying for. That's what our money goes towards. Our stolen money goes towards such brilliant statements like that. And yes, I did fact check that. I looked on the actual website itself, and it is 100% accurate. It is in there, and just flagrant whatever abuse. I don't know. Did you guys hear about Alex Jones's wife? Not Kelly. Kelly's been on the show, mind you. Alex Jones's ex-wife has been on the show. I know I always bring that up whenever I'm talking about Alex Jones because I still can't believe it, and you might not be able to believe it either. But go fact check me on that. And in the bonus, I did ask her if Alex Jones is actually, in fact, Bill Hicks. We had that conversation, but that's somewhere in Patreon deep. Merry Christmas. Alex Jones's wife was arrested on domestic violence charges, and so this is kind of weird. So I'm going to break this down as quickly as I can because this doesn't matter that much, but I do find it interesting just because we're kind of familiar with Alex Jones's ex-wife, and everybody's familiar with Alex Jones and all that. So allegedly, Alex Jones's wife had some domestic charges on Christmas Eve, and Alex said that it was related to something to do with like mixing up medications or something like that. He says it doesn't concern his politics. He says he loves his wife and cares about her, and it appears to be some kind of medication imbalance. Now, do I think Alex Jones's wife is a normal person? No, because she's married to Alex Jones, and no normal, sane person would be married to Alex Jones. I mean, I would go on a couple dates with him if he was interested because, he's a fascinating individual, but like, even if he was the nicest guy off set, just his demeanor would make me pull my hair out within like before the end of the honeymoon. That's what I'm looking for. But Alex Jones's current wife apparently does have some priors in this area. And the real issue here is that there's this big legal dispute between Kelly Jones and Alex Jones, Kelly Jones being the ex. And Kelly is trying to get custody, and the jury allegedly awarded her full custody, and then the court overruled it or something like that. I don't know. I'm spreading rumors, but that's what we do. Oh, hey, speaking of rumors, did you guys hear about that libertarian debacle over the weekend or something? I was busy dying in bed, and I mostly don't care about the drama, but interesting stuff. If you're interested, go look into it, I guess. Somebody was doxxed, and somebody else left some institute or broke up with his wife or his girlfriend, his fiance. I don't know. I'm not spreading rumors. It's interesting, though. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it really doesn't matter. But I am curious, and if anybody involved in that kerfuffle is interested in talking to me more about it, I am open to doing so, because, I don't really like to spread rumors all that much, but it is interesting to watch these things happen, and it's kind of what brought up that song that I played at the beginning. It might seem like it had nothing to do with any conversation here, but that song came up in a conversation that I was having with CD and Shannon the other day, because I said something like, this, like, I don't get into it too much, but this whole thing, the Liberty podcast back and forth beef drama, just seems to me like old band days, and I hate the fucking band drama of like, hey, if somebody hears us then we're going to get signed and we're going to be huge and successful. And if they hear you, then we're not going to be heard. And so there's some conflict and there's some competition and stuff and a bunch of people beating each other over their heads. I think it's all stupid. I think we all need to support each other. I certainly don't support doxing. And when that happens, I don't know the right path to take. But, I don't know. Whatever. I'm staying out of this. You guys know who you are and you know what your last names are. I do too, but I'll sell his last name to everybody for $30 because I'm a greedy capitalist, and I think he would approve. But I don't know. Like, guys, just chill the fuck out. Like, doxing is pretty serious, especially when you get on certain levels. It's pretty fucking serious, and I would condemn generally anybody who would do it. I don't know. I guess there are certain circumstances, like certain politicians. If you want to dox them, it's all good. But why can't we all get along? Why can't we all get along? I'm not sure why I brought this up or who cares, but if you know what I'm talking about, then hit me up if you've got information that I don't have. But probably best to just move on. Probably best to just leave it alone for everybody's sake. But Kelly Jones, back to this drama, she was calling out Alex Jones because she's in this legal dispute and a bunch of lies and stuff. I mean, one of the two of these people is lying, and I can't entirely tell which one, but Kelly's going around posting stuff, which she has posted things like supporting censorship on these big tech platforms. This was all after she was on here on this show, so I didn't have a chance to question her on that, but she has, like when Milo got taken down, she did bring that up on the show, and we had a bit of a back and forth on that as well, but I don't support her in that way. The lady's got to be a mess because she was married to Alex Jones, and I feel for her in that sense, but some of the tirades that she goes on are just kind of crazy. Maybe this is what triggered me back to the libertarian drama shit, but whatever. I was going to tell you to go listen to a certain episode out there that's about it, but that was taken down too, so whatever, hit me up. Maybe I'll say names in the Downers Club. Who knows? Because whatever. I'm a greedy capitalist. Kelly Jones. She now goes by Kelly. That wasn't supposed to be zoomed in. That was dramatic. Kelly Morales, I think. Morales? I don't know. But she says, no one believed my then 12-year-old daughter when she told CPS Alex's wife had assaulted her. So she's pointing out all the ways, because she's in this custody battle, she's pointing out all the ways that Alex Jones shouldn't have this woman in the house with her kids. And yeah, I agree with you, but also the way she goes on these tirades makes her kind of look like a crazy person, kind of makes her look like a crazy ex-wife who is, I don't know Kelly's background any more than she told me. Like, I haven't heard Alex's side on Kelly Jones, so I'm going to, I guess, reserve judgment. She was nice on the show and all that, but whatever. So she's going on saying that she needs to have the kids because Alex Jones is neglectful and abusive, and she says that that there was name calling and saying, she says, Alex bullied my youngest about her illness and disability, made fun of a kid sick and in pain. The stuff kind of starts to sound overblown. I don't want to say that it is. I don't know the situation really, but the thing that makes me think it's overblown is she posts this is Alex Jones's current wife, and it's this sex cam whatever thing. So she's trying to make her look bad, like this is the type of thing she does. See, she's a bad person. I mean, I don't approve of that stuff really morally either, but who cares? She can do what she wants. Obviously keep the kids out of it. I think that goes without saying, or away from it, but not the greatest look, no. This is not an isolated incident. CPS investigators fund high risk in Alex Jones's home twice. I don't know. The attorneys that facilitated this with lies. Okay, so she's talking about the obstruction of justice. The main things I want to talk about were these videos that she's posted. Because we're 8 posts deep into this rant thread that Kelly's on, and she posts these videos of her kids. She's got the faces blocked out so you can't see them. But so I don't know. You tell me if this sounds like legit, like something that a kid would come up with on their own. I don't know.
Hi, Judge. I'm going to be making this video because I feel that the things that I am expressing are not being taken very seriously, and it's a very bad situation at my dad's house.
Heavily edited, too.
I have lied to the past judges because my dad has pressured me to, and I'm scared I was going to get punished if I didn't, if I told them the truth. My stepmom likes to take her pills that she has for her back and her hips. It's a pain medication, I think, and she'll take it with alcohol, which she's not supposed to do. That makes her get very drunk and not.
Do these sound like the words of a kid? Like, this sounds scripted to me, and it might still be true, but it sounds like this whole thing is like clearly Kelly Jones trying to make Alex Jones look as bad as possible, which I totally understand, and I don't necessarily fault her for, but things like this make it a little bit harder to take a clear side because she's an angry ex-wife who's lost a bunch of money in this.
Remember anything, which she's done a lot. It's about every week, sometimes less. She becomes very mean and very crazy. Well, she's already crazy, but she becomes very crazy. She has slapped me in the face, and she has told me that demons are coming for me.
That is very possible. Not that demons are coming for you. That's not what I'm saying. The lady does seem unhinged based on the story here, because Kelly Jones does point out that this lady has a bit of a history, it sounds like. Like, all I could tell was maybe one or two other incidents from like 2 years ago where she lost her temper or something like that. Which, living with Alex Jones, if this lady makes it a year without blowing her brains out, you should be applauding her. But still, I don't think that these kids should be under Alex Jones's custody either. I don't think these kids should probably be under Kelly Jones's custody, but I would probably lean towards the mom having them, unless there's something to this story that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, this still seems weird. It seems desperate.
They laugh at me all day. They call me names. They call me stupid.
Alex Jones is just sitting around laughing at his own daughter all day long.
You're triple jab, right? You're safe. You can take your mask.
Oh yeah, this is audio. This is audio that was secretly recorded of Alex Jones, and she's using this to say Alex Jones is clearly a terrible person, and he is like, I don't know, like demeaning their children and being abusive. I don't know what is happening in this audio, but let me know if you can tell.
You're triple jab, right? You're safe. You can take your mask off. You keep wearing it. I'm gonna go then. Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay.
Seriously, because I can't be part of this. You look like you got anorexia.
I love you, Alex.
I mean, if you don't take the mask off, I'm leaving. Okay.
You can leave if you want.
I'm leaving. Go.
You didn't take your shot.
Listen.
That go was cut in. You can tell. Or something happened. There was a glitch there, and then it jumps to go. I don't know if she cut something out or what, but it sounds like he's like, well, you got your triple jabbed or whatever, which that already makes me think Kelly Jones is even more off her rocker. Because, you know, I mean, I understand that you wouldn't want to believe all the things that your ex-husband believes, being Alex Jones, but that doesn't mean you have to go full retard the other way, right? And she's out there getting her 12-year-old triple jabbed, and Alex is a little testy about it. And it sounds like the mom has plenty of a say in her life if the daughter is triple jabbed, I would think. I don't know.
We're done. We're done. This is all. This is over. Okay?
Come show your face to your sister. Sick people.
And then, yeah, cut to come show your face to your sister, and then cut to your sick people. I don't know where all this stuff was clipped from. Like, those were clearly from certain times. They might be from the same time. It very well could have been. But obviously cuts out to where he's outside saying those things. So I don't know what this thing is. Him saying you're sick people. He's probably talking to Kelly Jones because he doesn't approve of the vaccine, which I totally understand that as well. I mean, I wouldn't want to, shame the child or whatever, but it sounds like Kelly's kind of weaponizing these kids against their dad, which, whatever. I think it goes both ways, because I think Alex Jones is kind of weaponizing his kids against the mom. I don't remember how many he has, like 2 or 3. I know he has at least one boy, and it seems like the boy was kind of taken after dad a little bit. This is, I don't remember if this is the one I wanted to watch. I don't think so. Just, who cares? This is like conspiracy theory content, like in reverse. She's like, the 5 things that will take down Alex Jones. The 5 things Alex Jones cons his audience to fund legal defense. And she's just talking about, the typical boring Sandy Hook stuff and January 6th stuff and whatever. She's just trying to dig up everything that she can on him. And when you're including stuff like that in the same thread as, hey, this guy shouldn't have my kids, you're making yourself look like a crazy person as well. So that doesn't help me in your case. But she's bringing up, this is like the mugshot of the current wife from a couple years ago, I believe. Or maybe it's the current mugshot. I don't know. But this one was interesting to me. She posts this video of... this is Alex Jones in a helicopter flying over their house, and so the daughter is 12, and the daughter sees this helicopter flying over, and completely naturally, without any coaxing from mom, says this: "Help me, it's scary." Now, we'll watch more of this, but, does that sound like the response of an actual 12-year-old saying, "Help me, it's scary," because there's a helicopter flying over that her dad is in? Do you think that's super threatening? I don't know. I suppose it kind of depends on her relationship with her dad, but even if she knows her dad well enough to have the conversation about the jabs that was confrontational earlier, thinking that it's scary that he's flying over in a helicopter seems a bit much. And that's it. Like, that's all the footage we have. We made a minute-long video with, like, 2 clips. Daughter saying, "Help me, it's scary." And she includes this in the video. This is from... She thinks she's proving her point, that this is scary and this is harassment or whatever. So this is, in her video, she took Alex Jones's perspective, which I guess he must have posted as well. Or no, I think... Yeah, he sent it to the daughter. I should be reading the screen as I'm talking, but Alex Jones sent this to their daughter. And so Alex Jones took this video, sends it to the daughter, and this is what it is.
Look at Kelly's out there too. Good job.
I mean, it might be a little menacing. He's just waving, flying by, saying hello.
That's good. Great job, man.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, there's some tension there, and obviously there's more to the story than any of us know, but yeah. Is that a reason to take his kids away? I don't know. I say, as much as I don't like CPS, as much as I don't like government, I don't like either of these 2 people as parents, and I don't like the idea of either of them. And now that Kelly Jones went the opposite direction in politics, that just makes this divide. Can you imagine the divide in that household? Like the normal trauma that a child will get from divorce in general of 2 people that don't care about any of this stuff, any politics or anything. They just get a divorce because, let's say, she left the keys in the car one too many times or something. I don't know. That kind of trauma weighs on a child for much of their life, typically. And then you take, like, crazy right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, and, think about him what you will, but she intentionally seems like she's gone the exact opposite, intentionally, like in the politics, in the vaccine stuff, and all of this. She's intentionally going the other direction, it seems like. So can you imagine the level of split in that family? All right. Who cares? We've caught up with the Joneses, the Alexes, and the Joneses. And Anybody in the chat? No? What do you think of Alex Jones? Anybody? Anything? Crazy text? Crazy? Yes. CD says this is bullshit. Yes, probably. You could pretty much apply that comment to 90% of the articles that we're going to talk about today and that we talk about every week. But do you guys hear about, speaking of, child abuse and such things, and speaking of Joe Biden in the Crypt Keeper, Grim Reaper, whatever costume last week, Biden and the First Lady visit hospitalized kids on Christmas Eve. So Joe Biden and Jill Biden brought some Christmas Eve cheer to hospitalized children who aren't well enough to go home for the holidays. It's long-standing tradition for first ladies to visit Children's National Hospital at Christmas time, but Joe Biden's visit on Friday was a surprise, a horrifying surprise. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine being a kid on Christmas and you're laying there in bed wondering if you're going to make it to New Year's? You've heard the president on TV say things like it's going to be the winter of death, the winter of illness and death. There's a decent chance that one of these kids heard the president of the United States say, for the unvaccinated, this is going to be a winter of illness and death for some of you. And then on Christmas Eve, you see him walk through the door and he's like, oh, hey, kids. Can you imagine being those children? And of course, everybody's playing it up as a wonderful and beautiful thing. I don't know. Are these kids even... I would assume they're vaxxed since they're allowed to come into hospitals, right? Like, were the kids... they have to check the kids' vaccine passports before they could go die? Because that is one of the things that... one more thing to add to the list that, we're not allowed to do as unvaccinated people in certain countries, like Germany. From nationalreview.com, so you know it's legit. In Germany, you must be fully vaxxed before your death by assisted suicide. So not only is it, and I've talked about like assisted suicide and stuff like that before. It's illegal. Your government doesn't allow you, quote unquote, to kill yourself. That is a crime. But now it's not only. I mean, that's not a crime in Germany, but they made that perfectly legal. But if you don't have your vaccine, you're not allowed to go there and kill yourself. You know that the government has way too much power when they're weighing in on whether or not you're allowed to live or die. Like they could stop you if you were really determined, but this is pretty horrifying. In Germany, no less. They've got things in their past that they're known for. Discriminatory things, different medical practices and stuff. I don't know. Look it up. Fact check me. I don't know if you're familiar with some of those, but yeah, Germany, not the best places in history, and not learning that well from history as of late. Speaking of assisted suicide and not learning that well from things in recent history, Joe Biden continued to bless the world with Christmas Eve cheer by taking calls from people. Yes, I'm sure you know what it is. Joe Biden got this wonderful call. So typically, this is another thing that the First Lady usually does, and Joe Biden, because he's got nothing going on, like the hospital visit is typically just a First Lady thing. He went with her to that as a surprise because he didn't have anything else going on. And I don't know. What else is the president going to be doing on Christmas Eve anyway? Probably golfing, depending on the president. Maybe blowing up brown people or droning kids, depending on, how they feel. But Joe Biden didn't have anything going on, so he went with the First Lady to the hospital, and then he fielded some calls with her for Christmas cheer. And if you're not familiar, here's what happened.
And how about Penelope?
Well, Penelope, she's only 2, so I think she'd be happy with just about it.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful that you have a 2-year-old. Well, have a Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas.
And by the way, you guys have to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and asleep between 9 and 12, or he doesn't show up.
This isn't to you, Jared. This is to the kids.
That's right.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon? Where's your home?
Where'd he go?
I think we lost him.
Yeah, you lost him. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, well, obviously the guy did the prank call. It was real quick, and it was kind of nasty, and then he hung up, which brilliantly played, even if that were the case. I would condone and commend the man for doing so. The guy, I did some digging into, like the guy and his background. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things about this guy. I mean, first off, not all heroes wear capes. Some heroes get the President of the United States to tell the world, fuck me, on national, global television. Because this was like for a thing where they were tracking Santa going around the world, and it was gross. I mean, first off, it's gross because you're tracking with satellites that are obviously fake, and then you're tracking the image of Santa that they had, which is just a crappy CGI, looks about as real as the rest of NASA's imagery, wearing a face mask, riding by himself, above the world, nobody around for miles. If he took one wrong step or one wrong move, he'd be plummeting to his death. But we got to be concerned about COVID up there, too. Got to send the right message to those kids. Stay masked up, kids. It's the right thing to do. But God bless this man for getting the President of the United States to say, allegedly, generally, basically, essentially. That's the word I'm looking for. Got it. Nailed it. Fuck Joe Biden. Joe Biden said on Christmas Eve, the best Christmas gift I could have asked for. But, yeah, so what else we got? We had Representative Eric Swalwell coming out and whining about this, saying, don't waste your time on the pathetic dad who humiliated his family to say F you to the president on Christmas Eve. He's irrelevant. Spend your time asking why Republican leaders are celebrating him. This isn't my parents' Republican Party. This isn't my parents' Republican Party. This new crew are indecent to the core. Wow, it's not dramatic at all. Yeah. So you're mad. You're not really mad that the guy said it to Joe Biden. You're mad that your guy's so stupid he didn't realize it. He didn't realize what he was saying and repeated it back to him, because that's all his entire presidency is listening and repeating instructions. That's what you're really mad about. But yeah, digging into the guy, I found the behind the scenes, the guy, they were filming it. This guy is like a Christian dude. He's like a nice dude. He went on like other interviews. First he went on Breitbart and he said something about Donald Trump. Basically, Donald Trump should be president currently, and the stuff that goes into that, obviously, which I don't know if I agree with. I don't know if I disagree with either. I don't really care, because who cares? But he did say some of that stuff, which of course he's being dragged for that primarily. I wish he wouldn't have said that, because that has nothing to do with the actual conversation. But he went on Breitbart, which I think I have that clip too. He went on Breitbart and I'll just share that, and then we'll go from there.
Pre-recorded Christmas message or something similar, and I said, sure, why not? And told my boy to start filming it just in case it ended up being legit. Yeah, they both picked up the phone. It was clear that it was not a recording. I didn't know it was being live streamed at that time, and throughout the conversation, it popped into my head, and I guess the rest is history.
But it's in that moment, right? That critical moment when people, I see this all the time in politics and business and in the media, that people,
this is
either they just
kind of a
don't
cringe
take that
question.
move. You actually took it. What was in your mind?
He's like, wow, you're so brave.
You realized you actually said that.
Wow.
On global television.
Because what else do you ask this guy about? He didn't do anything. I mean, what he did was great and beautiful and wonderful, and it will go down in history as one of the best political moments in history. However, he still didn't do anything, and Steve Bannon doesn't really have all that many questions to ask, because what do you ask that guy other than, wow, you did it. How do you feel about that you did it? And what made you want to do it? And I guess that's it.
Well, yeah. Once I realized it was on global television, I was pretty surprised, and I have to say I thought it was pretty darn funny. We had a really good laugh about it, and I mean it I know it was said in a joking manner, in a humorous manner, but it's a very serious thing. And I mean, it was one way for me to like, man, I got a chance right now to voice my disapproval of this man and his administration. And
what is
so I'm proud of it.
what is that
No, shut up. Whatever. So yeah, he did that interview, and again, he does go on to say stuff about the election and fun stuff like that that people use as such easy grounds to completely dismiss this guy as an evil, racist, MAGA, blah blah blah, whatever. And he did backpedal it a bit and said, "Yo, I probably shouldn't have even worn a MAGA hat on that interview because I'm a Christian first and foremost." He's like, I am a Trump supporter and all that, but I'm not, like, that's not my identity. And yeah, I don't know, whatever. But the guy, if you just watch that interview, you could, especially if you disagree with him on politics, you could easily write him off as just this guy who had ill intent for the president and wanted to make him look like a buffoon, which I imagine wouldn't be that hard to do if you were speaking to him live on the phone, which most people don't get the opportunity to try. But yeah, here I did want to share this. It's the behind-the-scenes recording that they took of him having the conversation. We'll just watch a little bit of it. But you can tell that this guy, it's not like he set out for this, like, plot or whatever. He said that they do this every year. Like, they always call in, and I guess they usually, sometimes it's, like, recorded. He was expecting it to be a recording. They didn't even realize that it was going to be live on the air at the time. But yeah, they just had him on hold for a long time, and then they picked up some of some of the calls, and he just happened to be one of them. But it's not like this was his entire plan. He asks, like, what the kids want, and he does it nicely.
That is correct. Hello.
And this guy does also say,
Merry
like,
Christmas.
I wish no ill on the president. I don't have like much of an issue with him or anything. I think he seems like a really cool and cordial guy. It's like, nah, dude, you lost me there. Like, he's able to smile when he's coked up just right, but it's not, I would say cool and cordial isn't exactly the words that I would use for the guy who, screams about how he wants to lock more people up, and like in the past and currently. Creepy is what I would describe him as, but yeah, we'll watch a little more of this.
Hi. Yes, sir.
That was Joe Biden actually thinking that was his dad, calling from the grave. In one of these articles there, he says, luck for luck, Dad. Because the dad says, for Christmas, I just want to get a good night's sleep. And he says, luck for luck, Dad. Luck for luck, Dad. And they didn't like try and guess what he was trying to say this time. They just put in the quote. I think the media's mostly done trying to make up what this guy is trying to say, because we've run out of options. We've run out of ideas. He said, luck for luck, Dad. I don't know what luck for luck, Dad means. I could guess that it means good luck or something to that effect. But as we know, Joe Biden isn't the best at, things.
Oh, I didn't know you had a grandson named Hunter. That's cool.
All right, whatever. So, yeah, there's all that. Oh, and I do want to play the end after he says it to show that he's not, like, laughing maniacally. He doesn't hang up on Biden. Biden thinks that he hung up or something. I assumed based on the first video that he hangs up on Biden because he was just a prank caller. He's just a dad. And he's like, whatever, we'll throw this in there too at the end. And you can see how malicious it is, and you can watch him not hang up here.
She's now grandmother.
For your granddaughter. For your granddaughter.
How about Penelope?
Well, Penelope, she's only 2, so I think she...
Oh, that's wonderful that you have a 2-year-old. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a...
At 9 o'clock.
Sleep between 9 and 12, or he doesn't show up.
That's right. Hey, well,
I hope you have a wonderful.
yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon. Bye-bye.
See, he doesn't even press the end button. And I mean, it's funny because it is funny. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what you think. That is funny. I got some people in the chats. I will respond here briefly. Keith McCaslin, I'll respond to this one. Dan, the Smotz and the coolest handsome aware dude. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Dan, have you ever heard of David Oates in reverse speech? In his recent reversal on slow Joe Biden, creep Joe. No, I have not. Feel free to send me links at dan@tsidpod.com, and I might watch them. But yeah, let's go back and celebrate this one more time here, and let's watch all the way to the end because I love Jill's response. She is clearly, she's still got a little bit more going on up there than old Brandon does here.
Where's your home?
Oh, not far enough.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon?
And she looks pissed.
Where's your home?
And she catches on that that he hung up.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, she's pissed off. And there's like, move on to another call. But yes, wonderful, beautiful moment. Thank you, sir. Wherever you are, I hope you are well. But stop backpedaling, people. Even I know, I get it. There are people out there that I'm sure he's probably getting threats and he's probably getting a bunch of shit. But maybe just keep quiet. I don't know what to do in that situation. I don't know what I would do. Don't come out and make a statement that's like, well, I was joking and I actually like Joe Biden, because you don't. You know you don't. Nobody does. Even Joe Biden doesn't like Joe Biden. That's why he just said F Joe Biden on worldwide television. Mostly because he doesn't even know who the guy is. But speaking of Brandon, speaking of good old Brandon, where this all comes from, you guys remember the NASCAR guy, Brandon. They're all chanting F Joe Biden, and then the lady says, let's go. You remember Brandon? I wonder what he's up to today. Well, he's not doing great. NASCAR, this is from thedailywire.com, so you know it's legit. NASCAR driver who inspired Let's Go Brandon says now extremely difficult to get sponsors. So this guy's complaining because he doesn't care at all about politics. He just got pulled into this thing just because his name's Brandon, and it just happened to be him that the lady dropped the revolutionary phrase onto. NASCAR driver Brandon Brown, who inspired the phrase "Let's Go Brandon," albeit unintentionally, says since the anti-Biden phrase became a nationwide chant, it's extremely difficult for him to lock down sponsors. Let's jump to the quotes because that's all that really matters here. Quote, it got extremely difficult for us. Quote, if you're a national corporation, that means you sell to all consumers, and unfortunately, when you get dragged into the political arena, people want you to take a side. I've never been put in a position where it's quote where it's okay. Where it's okay. What side are you on? Left or right? So it's hard for a brand to want to attach to somebody who might be kind of divisive in their consumer base. Lacking my kratom today, folks. If I'm going to divide Coca-Cola, why would they want to talk to me? So the short answer is it's been tough to connect with partnerships just because it's kind of viewed as a ticking time bomb. What is he doing? What is he going? I think that's supposed to be Daily Wire. Get your spell checks up in there. Do a little better. What is he doing? What is he going to choose or say? What is he going to choose or say? And how would that affect our consumer base? It's too much of a risk. You guys get it. You get it. And NASCAR is kind of agreeing. They're saying that this isn't great. They're suing some people. He said that he has by and large not sent cease and desist letters to people using his name or merchandise, but he conceded that there have been a couple times where he and his representation have had to try to get some taken down. So NASCAR and him are, threatening lawsuits on some people, which, yeah, I should be safe because it seems like the main issue, and the only thing that they really could send cease and desist things to is if they directly use the NASCAR logo or if they directly use Brandon's face. I instead used Joe Biden's face. Let's see if I have that here. I used Joe Biden's face on Mr. Brandon's body for my Let's Go Brandon shirt, and it does not have the NASCAR logo in it, just, similar looking things. So the law of parody applies for now, and that's not Joe Biden, we'll say, just in case. But if you want your Let's Go Brandon shirt, go on over to the systemisdown.tv and get it in the shirt store. But Brandon's not doing so great, and that must suck. To be the guy who does not care about any of this, just getting dragged into it because, obviously they can't sue people for using the name Brandon. Maybe if they said Brandon Brown, I don't know why anybody would, because that wouldn't sell merch because nobody knows who Brandon Brown is outside of NASCAR lovers, I would imagine. I have no idea who he is still. I don't even know what sport he plays. I think it's football, but I don't care about any of them any more than the rest. NASCAR is just turning left for a living. Quickly turning left. That's all that sport is. I don't understand it. I don't know how you can call it a sport. What, you're pushing the pedal harder than the other guy with your very physicality? I know there's more to it than I'm giving credit for, but isn't it really in the whoever's souping up the car, whoever's making the car fast? Isn't that, and I don't know, can one person turn, they have the muscle to turn it sharper left? I don't know how it works. Sports. But, yeah. So, did you guys hear about flu season? Flu season is upon us, guys. And that's how you know this thing's fucking over. This thing is over if they're even talking about flu season, it seems like, because they don't like flu season. According to the news, flu is it's not just here, it's making a comeback in the U.S. after an unusual year off. Yes, they think that we are just that retarded, just that stupid, that we will buy when they use tactics such as these from ABC News, which probably won't play because you're a hacky website. We'll try refreshing. Yeah, I'm sure you know where this is going, but just hearing it out of the horses' mouths, it makes it that much better.
We have viewer questions for Dr. Jen, but we understand you actually have a question.
You're taking over.
Jen.
Yes, I do. I am taking over.
I'm ready.
So since winter and flu season is approaching, when is the best time to get the flu shot?
Huh.
This is a phenomenal question because just as we're hearing about waning immunity for the COVID-19 vaccines, for the last couple of years, there's actually been some data and some rumblings kind of behind the scenes that, guess what? The same thing happens to our protection, our immunity against influenza. Now, the CDC recommends everyone gets their flu shot by the end of October.
Shocking.
However, it depends on a lot of variables. We have to wait and see a little bit what happens to our flu season this year. The blessing of the pandemic last year is that we had virtually zero influenza. Logistically, if people are at their visit or they're scheduled to get one, they should still get their flu shot now when they can.
Get your flu shot. The blessing of the pandemic, it's not just that it was down. The blessing is that it just didn't exist. There just was no flu. What a strange time that was when the flu took a break and everyone had COVID. Everyone had COVID with flu-like symptoms, and the flu was just gone. It was eradicated for a year. What did we do? I don't know. And they even tried saying last year, well, it's because we wore the masks, and because we got the shots, and because of this, and because of all these things that are working so well. But now we're back to, and this is why I think that COVID's going away. They're like, guys, flu's back. Go get your flu shots. We're going to start losing those too. We got to hold on desperately to what we have, and we've had that going for us for years. Ages. Get your flu shot. And some people will die. Some people will die of the flu. Some people will die of the flu shot. We're not allowed to say those things, of course, but it's not quite as taboo because the flu took a year off. It literally took a year off, guys. That's the science. Those are the scientists. Those are the people that get to decide. Or at least they used to get to decide. I would say that they probably shouldn't be able to decide anymore after Joe Biden came out with what I would say is the most honest and most impressive statement to date. since Afghanistan.
Do not let federal solutions stand in the way of state solutions.
Look, there is no federal solution. This gets solved at a state level. And the
state level
gets down to where the rubber meets the road.
I don't know why they even had to include that last clip in there. The rest of this is just Fox News saying a bunch of Foxy News things. But it's funny. I was watching the rest of this clip earlier to see if there was anything else in here. Who dresses like that? Why do you trust somebody who dresses like that? Somebody who looks like that. Does that look like any? I know, I put on this suit to look a little bit formal, a little bit professional. I'm just sitting here with my vaporizer on and my dead teddy bear. I'm not a professional here, but those guys are the professionals. You can tell because they look like they're in the 60s. Like the news has not progressed in the last 50 years. 50 years. What are you wearing? What is that haircut? These are two of them. You pick two, and they look like clones of each other. You got Tommy Loren, who's like my age, and she looks like a typical lady anchor as well. It's just like, I don't know. I don't trust any of these people. If you want people to think that you're not fake, why do you look like a fucking Ken doll or a Barbie doll? Literally, those are the two options. There's business casual Ken, and there's I don't know, hip mom Barbie. I don't know. Obviously, the thing that matters here is Joe Biden just said there is no federal solution to this thing. There is no federal solution after 2 fucking years of Joe Biden, or not even 2, more than 2, because he spent years saying that, or no, I guess it would only be whatever. After a year of him in office and a year of him attacking Trump for not having a federal option, and Biden saying he's going to have a better federal option, and because of that, he got elected, and then he did the exact same federal option, which didn't work because federal options don't work. Now he's going on, I think he's starting to realize it's not working. Because some people are saying that he misspoke. How can that be a misspeak? How can you say there's no federal, unless, I mean, you either got to admit the guy is completely gone, or he's telling the truth and just happened to be right for once. Like his meds started to where he's like, this isn't working, guys. Or maybe they brought in this is giving him extreme benefit of the doubt that he can read charts, but they brought in the charts and he sees the spike of Omicron. He's like, yeah, I can't do this. Yep. Pass it on to the states. But he gave Trump a bunch of shit. He gave all the states a bunch of shit. He gave Trump shit for not having a federal option, and he gave Trump shit for allowing the states to decide for themselves. And don't get me wrong here, I don't trust the states either. There are a couple governors who have been good on this thing. Most of them sucked. Now, would they have sucked so hard if the federal solution wasn't so tyrannical that gave them a taste of that sweet, sweet blood passed down? I don't know. I would imagine less of them would jump straight to tyranny if our federal government wasn't, but they did. They did. So, and we've got governors like Cuomo who just, locked people in nursing homes for the sake of political gains, and so locked sick people into nursing homes with elderly people, with the most vulnerable people, and like 15,000 of them died. So he killed a bunch of people, despite recommendations from all health professionals, and then he got a slap on the wrist on his way out the door for grabbing butts. Yes, that's politics for you. But there is no federal solution to this. It's coming from the man in the highest tower of all. This guy. People are talking about aliens a lot lately. It's coming to mind. If the aliens come, when the aliens come, first off, I don't trust it because if the government's telling you that the aliens are real, then I used to believe in aliens, and then the government told me they were true. Okay? Or they told me that they were real. If aliens come and they say, take me to your leader, who do we take them to? Do we even know? Maybe we should ask Charlemagne or whatever. Do we take them to Joe Manchin? I don't know. According to Charlemagne, Joe Manchin's the president right now. Who the hell do we take him to? This guy? I don't know. But anyway, aliens are here. They're walking amongst us. They are everywhere. But Joe Biden said that he doesn't have a solution, basically. That's the only, if we're taking this man at his word, either he's dimensional and deluded and doesn't have a brain in his head, because he would never say this if he was sane and rational Joe Biden, if he was firing on all Joe Biden's evil cylinders, either his brain is completely broken or, and I'm not saying these are mutually exclusive, or federal option isn't showing any signs of any improvement. And we all know that that is 100% the case. So obviously I would take it a couple steps further and say it's not up to governors to decide either. But first, let's get it out of the hands of the most powerful and most evil and most corrupt. So I agree with Joe Biden on that one, at least. When you're right, man. And I'll applaud you when even if you're broken, correct. That's fine. I'll take it. Even if you're just had a little bit of a synapse fire in the right direction, I'll take it. Good job. Good job, Joe Biden. So keep that in mind as we're going through the rest of this stuff. Joe Biden, the man himself, said, there's nothing they can do. There is nothing they can do. How can you take that any other way? Not only that, but there's nothing they've been able to do over the last 2 years. So all of your suffering, all of your pain, all of your struggle has just been cause. I'm calling it, you guys. It's dead. It's over. How much longer can they press on with this thing when we've got Joe Biden saying, I've got nothing left? I know he didn't really say it, but that's how I'm reading it. But in the death throes, Dr. Fauci's finishing off the year strong, and he's making sure you do too. He's going to keep you real safe by canceling New Year's parties.
I do wonder, we are approaching New Year's Eve at the end of this week. A lot of people have got events and gatherings planned. And I know you said it's okay to be with friends and family if you're vaccinated and boosted. But what is your advice to people about larger settings for New Year's parties?
Guess what it is? Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Caitlin, I would stay away from that. I mean, I have been telling people consistently that if you're vaccinated and boosted and you have a family setting in the home with family and relatives, but when you're talking about a New Year's Eve party, we have 30, 40, 50 people celebrating. You do not know the status.
Don't you love his arrogant twitches? It it just makes him seem like even more of an asshole than he really. Well, not more than he really is. I don't know if that's possible, but it makes him seem more like an asshole than he would if he kept his head on a nice, smooth pivot and didn't have this arrogant twitching going on.
So the vaccination, I would recommend strongly stay away from that this year. There will be other years to do that, but not this year.
Well, here's the thing, though, Mr. Fauci, sir. Your colleague in crime, Joe Biden, just said there's nothing you can do about it. So do all of your advice over the last 2 years, do all of your advice since the 80s, and to all of your advice moving into the future, I say, here's one for you. Fuck you, man. There's no federal solution. So you're out of a job, friend. You're out of a job. See ya. Don't care. Now, I have a bit of a cold, and I don't know what I'll be doing, but I will certainly let everybody know. If we decide to do something, I'll let everybody know, see if they're comfortable with it. I'll be responsible. That's what we did on Christmas as well. We visited some family. We told them, hey, we've got this cold. We're getting over. Our doctor said it's definitely not, a virus. We don't have a temperature. We don't have fever, anything like that. Seems to just be recovering from strep or something, or just a cold. Now, it was a bad cold. Mine was before that, and Kayla's was after that. So hopefully everybody's good. So far, as far as we know, everybody's fine. But we did let everybody know, made sure everybody was comfortable with it, asked them if they were comfortable with it. Nobody had any issue. And I imagine we'll probably be doing something on New Year's, and it'll probably be similar situation. Kayla's not doing so hot today, regardless of how hot she is. She'll never hear this, but let her know. Just kidding. I'm really not telling you to go tell my wife how hot she is. That's weird. But I know that we've got a bunch of lady listeners during the day, so that's a little less weird. But she's not doing so hot, and I don't know. We'll see how we're feeling. We're not big partiers anyway. We used to be more, but we don't really drink all that much. We don't really most parties on New Year's are heavily drinking and stuff, and we're not huge socialites as of late either. I don't know if anybody is, but all I'm saying is now I want to party way harder. As Fauci goes against what Biden said and tries to make federal, suggestions, federal nudges. You notice how you can even tell in his tone of voice a bit that his power is slipping in his brain. Because he's like, I strongly suggest that you don't go do the parties and have the fun. I'll be doing them, but I would strongly suggest. I think that that's a little bit less of authoritative tone than what he's had in recent times. Saying things like "I am the science" and stuff. Saying "I strongly suggest" is, that's Fauci saying you don't have to do this, basically. Because if I really believed this, then I would be telling you that you must. It is required of you. So that's how. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares about this guy? We're moving in. We're moving on. We're moving into a new year. We need to we need to be positive. We need to say, take 2 years of your life and throw them to the wayside. It would be great if we could talk about other things. It would be great if we could move on. I've probably had whatever they're calling this Omicron, so I would say that I'm probably safe on into the future. I don't know. No guarantees, but I know that I can handle yet another cold. No matter what the CDC decides to call it this year or next year or whatever. But, the flu's coming back, so we'll be locked down for that any day now, too. But, I'm not concerned. But some people certainly were last week. Some people were terrified, as they generally are. And this is the part of the show that I should have a name for by now. The COVID crazies or whatever, but just taking a look at some of the people and how they choose to live their lives in this new, fresh utopia that we live in. Merry COVID Christmas. This comes from dailymail.com, so you know it's legit. Merry Christmas. Merry COVID Christmas. Families share the very unusual ways they let Omicron positive family members join in festivities. They let them join in festivities, and I probably should have done one of these things as well. But here are the precarious, interesting, and unusual ways that we protect ourselves these days in bubbles like this. Now, this person, I don't know if they have a brain defect to begin with, but when your sister gets COVID for Christmas, it seems like they might have some sort of, and I'm not saying this to be rude, it looks like she might have a mental defect, which makes this even more sad and tragic, but they have her locked in a bubble tent, basically. Bubble boy. We live in literal bubble boy. The hypochondriacs are taking over. I posted the other day, and it got a bit of traction. Dear hypochondriacs of the world, we're all laughing at you. It was in regards to this. If this person is I don't know, has a mental, I don't know what the technical acceptable term is for it. I'm not going to say retarded, but the literal mental defects, which I would never use the R word for, even though it was a technical term at one point. It's not now. Down syndrome, I don't think it's that or whatever. Mentally missing a chromosome, I'm not entirely sure. But the rest of these people definitely are retarded. But this person, if they are being locked in that and have mental problems, then that is tragic. And these ones are just clearly retarded. But this one is when your brothers make it possible for you to join in the Christmas festivities. No, this is not your brothers being nice. This is your brothers being assholes. They probably don't even care. They're probably not even worried. There's we hate Karen, and we know that she's scared of this thing. You know what we can do to keep from having to hear Karen for the entire Christmas? We'll lock her in a bubble. We'll say, you can come. You can be locked in this bubble, and we'll use whatever grabbing picker-upper thingy to hand you things. I'm not sure how that works. I guess they drop things in over the top. I am convinced that this one is just, this woman is an insufferable person, and they're like, hey, got an idea here. I don't care. You don't care. I don't like that we have to mask up for this prank, but this is going to be great. This one seems like it might be, I almost thought this was fake because this kind of looks like a joke, but that almost makes it more believable in the year 2021. when your sister has COVID, but it's Christmas and she wants to hang with the fam. And it looks like she's like smashed into a small, like child-sized hypochondria bubble. So that's fun. And when your sister also tests positive and can join the COVID room, and it says that they wrapped the entire home in plastic. I don't really understand this one. I don't really care. It's probably a video. Yeah, it's a TikTok video that I don't care about. And then more TikTok videos of baby, it's COVID outside. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Our brains are broken and let's have a good laugh about it. No, baby, it's not COVID outside. Baby, it's COVID everywhere. Just get used to it. Go out and get COVID and then lay down for a couple of weeks and take some time off. Your brain needs a rest anyway. Stay off the social media. When you get it, stay off the social media because you're broken. You're all broken. Got anything in the chats? Shannon says, you got her sick? Yes. Yes, I did get her sick. Yes. Probably. I don't know. Whoever got me sick might have got her sick. And I think our son got it at one point and was probably at some gathering or at some store or something. Who knows? Who knows? Because we both had like mild symptoms here and there at the same time early on, and then my wave came and then dipped back down, and hers started in, like a day after. Like she's basically a day or two behind me on all of her symptoms. So we're both kind of on our way out of this because like up until even yesterday, I don't know if I would have had enough voice to do this episode, but hopefully it hangs in there. All right, we got a few more things before we jump over to the after party. Yes, it's going to be under 2 hours for this main one, I swear. So we'll keep going. Speaking of people's brains being broken, this has been trending. This has been going around, and it is some of the most beautiful insanity that I have seen in the last 2 years. Just surpassing all logic, all sense, all reasoning, all hope for humanity. And this comes from Reddit because I couldn't find this actual clip on like most places. I had a couple links to this saved, came back. I've told you guys about this. Came back, they were just gone. And then I looked on DuckDuckGo. I looked on BitChute, BitChute. I don't remember how hard I looked there, but DuckDuckGo. I found a couple YouTube links because YouTube just typically plays smoother if I can find one that works. But I could not find the original without people commenting over it, without any of that stuff. And I want the original. So I found this on Reddit, why this is getting deleted everywhere, I don't know. Seems a little strange. Maybe because I would imagine there's an ongoing investigation into this thing, but I don't know why that would change anything. Here's the breaking point that we are at. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year's.
Who invited you to come and I can drink your up. Don't you dare talk to me like that.
So for the audio listeners, this is on a flight. There's an old man, probably like, I think he's like 70s or 80s even, and there's this younger woman, probably 30s or probably 40s. Probably 40s or 50s. Well-preserved 40s or 50s, let's say. Because I know that she was like a cheerleader or something for the Raiders back in the day. And the picture of her as the Raiders cheerleader that I think is in this next clip that we're going to share looks pretty old. So she's probably a well-preserved 50-something. She's screaming in this guy's face. She's got her mask pulled down, and she's screaming at this guy to put his mask on because he's sitting there minding his own business. She went into the lavatory, the bathroom, and came back out, and they were like pushing the drink cart down, and they were like, "Can you chill for just a second, find a seat real quick while we get this drink cart through," because there was no room for her to go through. And that's what triggered this Karen into this tirade. She noticed this guy sitting there without his mask on because he is eating and drinking, which is not breaking any of the rules. So she takes off her mask to scream in his face and do this.
Stand your up. Stand your up.
Sit down, Karen. You're good. So she's saying, stand your ass up. Stand your ass up. Why? I don't know. Like, is she threatening him? Is she going to fight him? Shame on this elderly man. Shame for him doing the same thing that I am currently doing, other than being a psycho. But yeah, he says, sit down, Karen, which is beautiful.
Karen, sit down. Sit down, Karen.
Sit down, pussy.
Listen, no, you're the
Oh, no, you're the dick.
Do you want the police to meet you on the ground?
Where do I am?
Mask up. Now.
So the airline people are telling her to put her mask on. I guess they're like, hey, if you're going to make this argument, you might have a case, but you'd have much more of a case if you weren't maskless while making it, you idiot. But yes, they're trying to diffuse the situation just as well as, any airline pilot ever could, just about as well as the 9/11 flight attendants were able to diffuse that situation. But yeah, the same level of atrocity ensues.
Put your mask down. You got your mask down, bitch. Sir.
You got your mask down, bitch. And they're like, sir, please. Like, she's screaming profanity in his face. And she is the instigator in all of this. So, yeah, maybe he's entitled to the terrible slur of the B word when a stranger is yelling in his face. She punches him. She punches him, and she's like putting her hands on him. She punches him in the face. And you'll see here, she goes on to spit in his face. Spit in his face. Because she's outraged that he's spreading COVID. Because he's eating without a mask on a plane, which is not against the rules. And all of this is completely made up anyway, because the masks don't do anything. According to CDC representatives on PBS. Like, I don't know what else you guys want. The masks are doing nothing other than causing Karens and people, low status people, to feel like they have the right and the power and the authority to hypocritically, mind you, scream in somebody's face about not wearing a mask, hit them, abuse them, verbally, shout them out in public, and spit in their face. Because as we all know, all of this is about your health and your wellness. That's what this lady is really, that's her message here. You need to be more healthy. You need to get vaccinated and wear your mask. It's because I care about your health in mind. That's why I'm not wearing a mask. You get it. You get it.
You're going to jail. As soon as we get Atlanta, you're going to jail.
Saying she's going to jail. Spits in his face. Now you're double going to jail. Which is a great line. You're going to jail, lady. As soon as we land in Atlanta, you're going to jail. Now you're double going to jail. You're going to jail twice. As soon as we get back from jail, I'm taking your ass right back there. I thought it was important to clip this, or use this clip especially, because most of them cut it off before she hits him, or like before, right after. I don't know, but they cut out the spitting. They cut out, she claws his face and draws blood even. And now as they're dragging her away, she's like clawing her way back to him. Like they're having to physically remove her from this man. People have snapped. They're gone. They're completely vacant. How could you feel the moral authority to make the argument that you're making while not wearing a mask, while spitting in an old man's face?
Piece of pussy, sit down, Karen. Sit down, Karen. Sit down, fucking Karen. Look, she punched me.
Mask on.
She's still screaming. Tell him to put his fucking mask on. And she's screaming it into people's face within 3 feet of them, not masked. They're gone. They are just gone.
To put his mask on. Put your fucking mask on.
She scratched my face. I wanted the
fucking
She hits him again.
On. Put your mask
Put yours on, bitch.
And there's another angle from it and all that. So, yeah, just absolutely nuts, man. Absolutely crazy. And the guy, yes, Shannon says the old man was hilarious. Yes. Richard Monk says, this old man is funny. I agree with you. This old man is funny. I'm not sure if you're referring to the man in the video or me, but either way, correct. You're right on the money. But this old man. He played one. He went on Inside Edition, which is what we're going to watch next. He goes on and does this interview, which that was pretty humorous. This happened like right after the incident, and I don't think there's... Okay, we'll just play it.
More about the woman at the center of that disturbing clash on a plane. Patricia Cornwall was arrested for allegedly hitting and spitting on a 69-year-old man.
So, yeah, when I say she clawed him and drew blood, there's, like, if you're listening to this, he's got this big cut, or, like, not really a cut, like she didn't, like, rip him open or anything, but that's, that's some unsterile behavior right there. A lady with, my daughter just did this to me a couple weeks ago. And it was for the same reasons. It was because I wasn't wearing a mask at the dinner table. No, my daughter's awesome. And we were playing a game, and it was a card game. I don't remember which one. The one where you have one of the ones where you have to slap one of the cards. I don't remember. Whatever. Egyptian rat trap is what we call it. And we both went for the card. I think that was the game. We both went for the card, and her nail like broke into my skin, so that was fun. And it got infected, and so infections are a serious matter. This man just had so many things that were more detrimental to his health done to him because of a lady who is so concerned about the health and well-being of people around her that she needed to carry this out.
So, who is she? Cornwall now works as a realtor, but she used to be a Raiderette cheerleader.
See, that's some Farrah Fawcett hair right there. Clearly, that's from the 80s or whatever. So, and she looks, from the video that we see, she looks just a little bit older. So, she probably had some work done, and she's older than she makes herself out to be. I'm not saying that to judge, whatever. I'm saying she's preserved herself. But yeah, she's got a history.
She's also a former actress.
Also a former actress,
Married
turns
with
out.
Children and Baywatch under the name Patty Breton.
You won the bikini contest in Palm Springs last year.
The criminal complaint obtained by Inside Edition says the clash started when Cornwall was returning from the bathroom and found the beverage cart blocking the aisle. The flight attendant asked Cornwall to find an open seat until beverage service was complete.
Sit down, Karen.
Cornwall and
All right, we know all this.
Cornwall then spit in his face and head area.
Hey, spit on me.
Probably in his mouth, too, mind you. Probably spit into his mouth, his eyes, his nose area, all around, doing the exact thing that the mask is supposed to be preventing people from doing, which normally, in normal life, would never happen to anyone. 99.9% of 99.9999, almost infinitely every interaction that humans have with other humans, they don't run the risk of getting spit in their face. The only reason this man got such a disgusting thing that happened to him is because of the mask mandates, which he was not violating.
Eventually, the Delta flight attendants managed to pull her away. Cornwall was busted by FBI agents when the plane landed in Atlanta. She's been told she can't fly except to return home to Los Angeles.
So fake. Every time I see an anchor of any kind, why are you talking like this? It's like, I've said this before, it's like if an alien came down and they were like trying to do their best human impersonation. That's what every anchor sounds like. They're just trapped. It's like an alien came down and watched like an anchor from the 90s or earlier and was like, that's how humans are. Let's be human. And it ends up coming out this natural. Imagine a person talking to you like this in real life.
Except to return home to Los Angeles.
My face was cut and I had blood running down my face.
I spoke to Miller, a former drugstore manager
You
from
sure
Tampa,
did.
today. Can you believe you were punched in the face by a Raiderette?
No, I was very surprised. I did call her a Karen on more than one occasion, and my grandchildren can't believe that I knew what the definition of a Karen was, so they're all giving me high props for that.
So, his grandchildren are based. That's cool. His grandchildren were like, Grandpa, holy shit. And, you never know what grandchildren are going to be these days because, kids today and all that. But apparently they haven't made it to the system quite hard enough yet. But yeah, they could have gone the other way and been like completely embarrassed by their grandpa. But they're like, hell yeah, grandpa. It's based, grandpa. Giving him 5s for calling a Raiderette a Karen.
If I'm eating and drinking, I don't have to have my mask on.
And you were wearing your mask at other times?
The whole time I just took it off here in the airport because I'm in the Atlanta airport now. But yes, I had my mask on all the rest of the time, yes.
Yeah, whatever. So he's a good old boy. He still had his mask on. It does annoy me, which I guess, like, I wouldn't expect him to make a political statement here, even if he is against masks, because that kind of takes away from the entire story. That he obviously, the more important point here is that the masks are clearly not only doing nothing, they're harming people, they're breaking brains. But I suppose I would have said the same thing, or I don't know if I would have done the same thing, but I would have said the same thing at the very least. That yes, this was just to be eating and drinking. When I go on a flight, I will eat and drink. Yes, I will eat and drink the entire time. I will wear it when I'm getting on or whatever. Typically, I'll be like, if I'm sitting at an airport waiting, I'll take off. Like, I'll wear it on my way in and through the checkpoints and shit. I'll take it off. Like, I'll go sit down, take it off, and be on my phone. Nobody says anything. Nobody cares. If I'm usually just walking around, nobody gives a crap. I think people are over this. I think people are done. I think people are moving on. I think they are sick of it. Airline people, I'm sure, as well. Normal people, they're either broken or they're over it. Like, they're broken one way or another. Either their brain is completely snapped or it's fried and they're just done. And I think you know where I land on that. I'm done. I am done. This thing is dead. But what do you think could wake people up to this type of stuff, other than, like, you know, 3rd jabs, 4th jabs, you know, all sorts of jabs, all sorts of things, and nothing changing, and the numbers are getting worse. No, nothing's going down, nothing's getting better. No matter how much we get jabbed, no matter how much we mask, no matter how many years this goes on, nothing is changing. But what I think could change some minds is things like Karen's in flight, or whatever, that lady, like that type of craziness, or things like this, even more troubling things like this. And it's Twitter, so I should have reloaded this. I know y'all saw this. This was going around yesterday. This is in an Applebee's, a child being surrounded by NYPD asking for vaccine papers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Gestapo was trending for a good reason yesterday, because the Gestapo showed up at Applebee's to make sure this 5-year-old was properly vaccinated for local acceptability.
She just basically saying that she can't serve. Otherwise, if you're not going to patron, you know, you have the card. I know, but you don't have it, then you're going to have to leave. And if not,
this is the type of thing that's going to change some minds, I think. This is a white pill for me.
You came in with a jacket?
Wow. Scaring a child, traumatizing a child. Hope you feel good about yourself, NYPD. This is disgusting. This is gross.
You guys failed us last night. You failed us last night. You all failed us. We're here for you and your kids.
I hear children
You failed
cry.
yourself, NYPD. You failed yourself.
And NYPD.
Is this what you signed up for?
I watched them die.
Looks like for you? Is this
Save
what you dreamed of
you and
when
me.
you wanted to be a cop?
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. This is our future. Happy New Year's. Now, on this, there can be more than one take on this. I do try to give benefit of the doubt, of course, whenever I can. Now, I can't give benefit of the doubt to the cops in this, in any way, from any angle whatsoever. These guys are fucking Nazis, and they deserve to be in jail at best. Okay? So, these people it's the way it's been told in certain circles is that these people were protesting, that they were going in. Okay, so if these people are protesting, like legit, they walked into an Applebee's with the intention of getting things stirred up, with the intention of causing trouble, taking a kid to it, that seems, I mean, first off, yes, it's brilliant, because then you get viral videos like this. I would imagine if they did this intentionally, that they would have better video than this, like better quality, and they would blend better, but that would be great for PR sake. But that would be stupid to take a kid to do something like that. I don't necessarily think that's what it is. I think that the media is covering it as a protest because unvaccinated people are going to enjoy themselves in doing things. And anybody who does something that is against the mandates is just default. They become a protester. That's how easy it is to protest these days. Live your life normally, and it's considered a protest. I would guess that that's more the case here, because I don't think that's not what this seems like. Like, these people seem genuinely surprised, and they might just be genuinely surprised. Maybe they were walking in to cause some shit with Applebee's, and they didn't think that Applebee's would be the scumbags that they clearly are at this establishment to call the cops when these people refuse to leave. I don't know. So maybe they went in like in a bit of a protest, in the same way I protest, like, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to have some civil defiance here because I'm not wearing your mask, I'm not taking your jab, I'm not doing these things, and would you like to remove me from your establishment? And they didn't expect 12 fucking NYPD officers to show up to drag their asses out of there. Who would? You shouldn't expect 12 NYPD officers to drag you out for not having a vax, because that's insane. And that's not a world that we should be subjecting ourselves to, subjecting our children to. So no matter how you slice this, whether these people had the best intentions, whatever you want to call it, I have no problem with them protesting. I have no problem if they went in angrily, aggressively saying, hey, this is bullshit. I mean, peacefully, aggressively, whatever. You know what I mean. I wouldn't be happy with them involving a kid in that, but either way, does not make Applebee's any better for calling the cops. Screw Applebee's, at least this one. I don't know if it's like corporate policy or whatever to kick 5-year-olds out of your establishment, call the cops on 5-year-olds, but yeah, the cops do go on to say you can leave now or be arrested, basically. They say if you leave now, there won't be any charges pressed. If you do not leave, you will be arrested. 5-year-olds not showing their vaccine passports. I don't know. I mean, I do know that's complete and utter bullshit. And the cops will, as Michael Malice says, as everybody's been quoting lately, and rightly so, the cops, I'm not, you know the quote. The cops are shit, I should look it up. The cops are capable of carrying out any order that is asked of them, up to and including child killing, basically killing children, slaughtering children. He was referring to Waco, but it still applies. It applies. I mean, look back 6 months. Look back 6 months. If somebody said, hey, the cops are going to be taking children, removing children from Applebee's, 5-year-olds, for not having vaccine passports, would you have believed it? No, but here we are. Ironically, speaking of Nazis, which is what these people are, and any cop that, I won't say all cops are bastards, any cop that goes along with any law that is unconstitutional, and any cop that enforces any corrupt law, they're bastards, okay? Which is, most of them. Probably all of them except for like 3 cops. There's probably a couple cops in like Alaska or something that are just like, oh, hey there. Hey, how's it going? Did you get your milk this morning? Oh, yeah, I got it there. Yeah, it's great. Oh, good. How's Jane doing? She's doing great. All right, I'll see you around. Any trouble? We're cops here. We're here to serve and protect, so I want to make sure you guys are doing okay. Yeah, we're doing just fine. All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You do the same. That cop's fine. That cop's fine, probably. I mean, he's probably like cheating on his woman or something. I don't know. Everybody sucks in their own way. But yeah, that cop's fine. But all the rest of them, fuck them. Yeah, it's funny how quickly we went from defund the police. We need to defund the police. Now the left is screaming, hey, tell the cops to come kick us out of establishments and discriminate against black people and lock us in our homes. We love cops now. What happened? It was like they're still kind of saying both at the same time. It's getting really confusing. And I saw somebody post on Twitter yesterday saying the same thing in reverse about the right. They're like, oh, the right loves cops until it comes to bite them in the ass. Yes, I agree with you on that one. The right does love cops until it comes to bite them in the ass. And I would disagree with them on the loving of cops for that very reason, because the cops are only helpful until they're not, until they get the wrong orders. I mean, they're pawns. They're the enforcement branch of government. But yeah, it's both. The left is just as insane. You're asking the cops to carry out these things. And we're going to talk more about that type of stuff in the after party, because I've got a couple more stories. We're going to talk about the Burger King protest and all that stupid bullshit, and a bunch of other stuff. So get over there. Shannon, sorry, we might be doing 3 hours today. I don't know. We're going to maybe the after party will be faster. I don't know why I can't do 1 to 2 hours. I don't know. But speaking of Nazis, as I said, we're going to finish on this to me is another white pill. How many of these can you see before people start going, yeah, it doesn't really add up. So Israel is beginning its trial of 4th COVID-19 vaccine dose. 4th. Maybe this time it'll work. And lest we forget, we talked about this a while ago, Israel is the world's most vaccinated country. Why are cases rising? When you see stuff like that, how many of those I know most people aren't seeing that type of stuff, so we got to talk about this stuff. Share the show, please. I mean, not just for the sake of me raising my numbers arbitrarily for no reason, but for people to hear this type of stuff, because normal news outlets aren't talking about, they'll talk about Israel cases rising. They'll talk about Israel being vaccinated. They'll talk about Israel being quadruple vaccinated in the very near future. It seems like they never talk about these things together, like they have nothing to do with each other. They're completely different articles that mean nothing together. But mostly vaccinated. And keep in mind, the almost fully vaccinated, the most vaccinated country, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's not the case anymore. That was from like February, that original article about them being the most vaccinated. But, I mean, they're clearly up there in numbers. Now they're not even going to be fully vaccinated because we're just going to up it. We're going to throw another one on. And maybe this one will work. Not even 3rd time's the charm. 4th time. 4th time. Yes. That's where we're going. And I think the breaking point is upon us, and I do have hopes for this next new year because of things like that. How much more can anybody tolerate? I mean, obviously, people are sheep, and they're capable of anything in packs, but we got to get the word out there. It is up to you guys, and if you're not willing to go out and talk to people directly about this stuff, maybe just share this show with your friends. Maybe clip it. I don't care. Clip it. Start your own channel. Call it The System Is Down Clips and share those clips around with your friends. I would do it. I don't have time to do it. I used to do it. I don't have time anymore. I don't know if I'm not even sure if I'm going to be doing an episode next week because the fam and I are going to be out of town. We're going on vacation. We're taking a little trip, and we're going to go to some water parks because enjoy life while you can. Enjoy life while you can, and it's a new year. New things. Happy things. Let's focus on the positives. Share the show. Clip the show if you want. Do what you want with it. I mean, I'm sure there are some people clipping it out there for all the wrong reasons. But if you want to, I don't know, be a part of the show, if you want to lend your assistance and do clips so that I can post them on my thing. If you don't want to start your own channel, send them to me. Or maybe we'll talk. Maybe I'll bring you on as part of the team and you can upload them yourselves. If you believe in the message, if you believe in pushing this message forward, especially into 2022, as things get nuttier and nuttier as the days go on, help out in whatever ways you can. I appreciate it very much. Or start your own show if you want to. That's fine too. All I care about is slowing the spread of fucking crazy. people, and it's spreading more rapidly than Omicron. It's spreading more rapidly. It's more contagious than COVID ever was, no matter the variant. But yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you have in mind for 2022? I have in mind, like back in 2021, I said it's going to be Fearless 21. We're going to go balls to the wall, and I feel like we kind of have. Like I used to kind of, I guess, censor myself a little bit more because I cared so much about YouTube and I had gotten so many strikes. But hey, 3 sheets to the wind. We're moving on. If YouTube doesn't want us, that's fine. There are some things that I won't say, but whatever. Who cares? What do we call this? Power 22, because that's what I've had in mind. Fire 22. I don't know. We can fire it or we can burn it all the fuck down. I don't care. But I hope that you go out. I hope that you party hard. Be responsible. But mostly that means who gives a shit. It's New Year's, and who's ever responsible on New Year's? Don't live in fear. Don't celebrate in fear. Go be around your family. Go be around your loved ones. And have high hopes for the future, because the veil is being lifted. The system is down. The empire is crumbling. The whole thing. The emperor has no clothes. He's bare ass naked, getting dragged through the street, getting spanked by all of us as we point out these things. So please help me point out these things and keep going into the future. It is crucial. It is imperative. And I thank you for helping me out. If you want more of this, we're moving into hour 3, but I'm going to cut this off before the end of hour 2 so that Shannon can't claim that I've gone on for 2 hours. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for a wonderful New Year's. I used to do the New Year's wrap-up saying that my favorite TV shows and albums and stuff like that. Don't really do that anymore. We didn't do it last year, and this year I didn't watch any movies or any TV shows, so who gives a shit? They all sucked anyway. But if I do watch movies and TV shows, you can get my reviews and in all those recaps and everything over in the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown. So sign up there, join the family, join the fun, help this thing grow, help us keep moving on. And yeah, let's go have some fun in the after party. Let's keep this New Year's party going. And yeah, celebrate life together. Yeah, for the rest of you, I don't know how soon I'll let you know, but I'll see you in the new year. It's been a fun one. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for sticking with all this and staying weird. Until next year, ladies and gentlemen, question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun, and hey, let's go. Let's do this thing. Happy New Year's. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.